Hi, talking about my Mesa Dual Rectifier. It's time to retube it. This is a 2005 3-channel. So the reason I want to retube it is I don't know how old these tubes are. They're all Mesa tubes. I have a feeling the bulk of them are the original tubes that it came with. The reason I say that is because they are 6L6 SCR440s, which according to Mesa, I emailed them about it, and they said that those were in use at the time on the 3 channels. Now they use STR445s, which is what I ordered. They said it's a good way to kind of get a nice little upgrade. They're a little bit tighter and stuff, so it'll be interesting to see how those go. So my power tubes, Mesas, they come paired in colors, right? So their thing is the bias is all set, so you can just buy a set of tubes, plug it in, and it works. You don't have to fiddle around and do whatever it is you do to bias an amp. It's already done. You've got a red pair, a gray pair, a blue pair. So these are, I have 3 reds and 1 gray. So maybe at one point in time the original owner or owners broke a tube and swapped it because they had one lying around or something, but they're not matched properly. It probably isn't a real big deal because they're probably close enough that obviously it works, but who knows, maybe it'll make a difference. My clean channel, the green channel, I've gotten mixed reports. Channel 2 and Channel 3, I used a power attenuator. Channel 2 and Channel 3, I have their volume at noon, and that's plenty loud even with the power attenuator. Channel 1, I have to have its power at about 3, almost 4 o'clock. In other words, almost all the way cranked, and it's still quiet. So I actually wind up running it with the solo button, the solo feature of the head, which has its own volume that overrides the individual channels. And I can get it louder, but then it starts to break up, like it's going into overdrive a little bit. Mesa indicated that that's probably not a tube problem, so I hope this clears it up. It's not a real big deal for me because I don't use clean very often, and if I do, I got like bias effects, and I'll just use that, or I'll get some amp sims. But it would kind of suck if I had to send the amp off to get it repaired, if that was the case. We're going to swap them out and see if that takes care of it. Now, I have got the tubes here, straight from Mesa, like I said. They sent me the 6L6 STR445s, and these are yellow. Both sets are yellow. So now I have 4 yellow power tubes, and then I got 5 12AX7 PreAmp tubes. So we're going to put those in. I'll show you how to do it. It's pretty easy, actually, especially on a Mesa. Like I said, you don't have to make any settings. It's just swapping out the tubes. Before we do that, though, I took a couple samples. The first sample you're going to hear is just the amp on Channel 3 Modern with its onboard EQ. No other effects. There's nothing. I'm not using any effects pedals, not using any post-processing effects, just the amp. Okay, so that was just the amp, and now the sound you're going to hear is my tone, which has all my signal chain in it. So that's this sample now. So now we'll open up the amp and we'll get down to the actual tube swap. Alright, so we're going to start replacing these. I put on some gloves just because I don't want to get fingerprints all over glass, and if I touch the contacts I don't want to get a bunch of sweat and oil on it. Probably doesn't matter, but just in case. Pretty much pull these guys right out. Just like that. Now they are keyed right here. They got a little key on them if you could see it, so they only go in one way, and you can kind of see there's 4 pins on that side, 2 on that side, so they go a particular way. So these don't matter too much on coming out. And these are still good, like I said, as far as I know, other than the weird, slightly mismatched pairs. Alright. The RF tubes are a little different. They should kind of push down, turn. There you go. And inside, spring in there, that pushes down on top of the tube. It's a retainer as well as it's a shield. These in, and these probably also just pull right out. Maybe not. Yeah, they do. I'm being overly careful because they're down in there a little bit. Now these, as you can see, aren't keyed like the big ones. They don't have a post in the middle, but there is a space there on the pins. And yeah, these are original 12AX7As. Russian 2 is what these say. That's interesting. So yeah, we'll go ahead and say you just push these down. They pop right off. We'll just take off each one. Alright, so that's it. That's taking them out. That is nice and super easy. I guess we'll go ahead and start putting the new ones in. So you just take it, you line up your pins, and you just seat it. That's all there is to it. Alright, that's there. Now we will put on their shields. You can see the shields have a little nubs there, and there's little cutouts on here, so you just line up the nubs. Like I said, it's got that spring down. Give it a little half turn or so, quarter turn I guess. Like I said, these are keyed, so you look for the key on there, and of course, it looks like it's on the side. And these should just there we go. And normally these bear traps would be, they got little teeth on them in here. They'd be up, and when you push that down in there, it helps grip the base. Like I said, if they're hanging vertically, those are a lot more necessary. Says STR 445 compared to STR 440. I kind of like the white better. It stands out better than the black. But it's not like you're behind your amp looking at it that much anyways. I mean, I do, but I'm a dork. They're neat when they glow. So those are in good. We got all of our preamp tubes in, plus the RF shields. Make sure you got those preamps in all the way. I'll even double check the... Alright. We are now ready to put it back in the case and power up and